YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. We got something all new from E-flite. It's a 2-meter Conscendo. That's right, I said that accidentally. I had no idea they were actually gonna do it, but I need to start saying more things like that because this thing is awesome. Yes, there are landing gear if you want them, but just so you know, you can also take the landing gear off. Let's show you right now. Press that little doohickey and off they go. But we're gonna show you with the landing gear just because it's really cool to have landing gear on a Conscendo. That being said, this is a 2-meter Conscendo. It's all new from E-flite. It does have quick release wings that take about as long as the landing gear to put on and take off. Yes, inboard flaps, outboard ailerons, and there will be a special file to set up crow. We didn't on this, but we will, okay? Also, a really cool nightlight package. Takeoff flaps, here we go. 6S 4000 on this flight. Out of the flaps. Reminds me of flying the Pulse. I'm at 50% throttle. The Pulse 1500 because of those landing gear and the way they look. You ready? Mm-hmm. Oh, so gorgeous. That's your normal spot there, camera crew. Look at the ups, guys. 6S 4000 has this thing whipping around, just enjoying life out of the throttle now. The folding prop with the braking on the motor has that thing folded almost instantaneously, as should be expected on any sailplane. Look at the ups though, guys. That's on crazy. 6S, that is just nuts. Oh, by the way, that's a beep, 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 boop, 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 also known as a Vario. Yes, it has the T, not a TA, an 8360T, which is incredible out of the Vario, because it's a little annoying right now. Obviously, we're not thermaling right now. Oh, some safe action. They're safe, that's right. Safe on a big, beautiful bird, okay? This plane will do safe with impunity. It does just fine. Out of the throttle, takeoff flaps, now landing flaps. This also does hand launch assist. And I am in safe right now just to show you full landing flaps. Slowing it down. Love the screen. Out of the flaps. By the way, full disclosure, out of safe. Back into AS3X Plus, beautiful AS3X Plus. Upside down, it doesn't care what direction it's going. It just does the thing. Into the throttle hard. Let's see if we can get upside down, inside out. Oh, almost got it. We'll carry a little more inertia into that move. This is my first opportunity to fly this plane when it's not painful. Yes. My second opportunity to fly it in total. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring it around and land it into the wind takeoff flaps, using up all the energy by taking 2 big, huge circles. This might remind you of back in the yesteryear when we used to fly out of the backyard and we had a Conscendo, not a Conscendo Advanced, not a Conscendo Evo. And yes, I did have inboard flaps because I had to add them. Look at this, guys. Slowing it down. Look at the shadow on the tree line, just to give you an idea of the space we're taking up. And here it is, guys. Beautiful. And yes, there is a steerable tail wheel. That's the crazy part, is this Conscendo does it all. But I am going to, by the way, I'm gonna bring it back and we're gonna take off the landing gear and do a hand launch. Throttle cuts on. That is a 4.5-minute timer, which is ridiculous because this thing will fly forever on a 4000. We have also flown, and depending on how this video goes, you'll see that as well on 3200. 6S seems to be a good fit. If you're gonna be using, and those are 50-seat packs, okay? If you're gonna be using a 5000 6S, if it's a 30-seat, it'll fit. If it's a 50-seat, no me gusta. It will not fit. 100-seat, no me gusta. It will not fit. Hold this, please. Okay, so watch how easy this is. Throttle cuts on, cam crew's holding. By the way, I'll just show you this so that it's like a 10-second ordeal. You can build this plane in quite literally 3 minutes. It's not that hard to build. I'm gonna just put this right here, and then I'm just gonna lay this other one right here, okay? And why am I putting them there? Because I don't think I'm gonna land in that exact spot.
Okay.
But look how easy this is, guys. If I wanted to take the wing off right now, guess what I could? I could release it right now. I can press this button and slide it out. Look at this, metal. You see that metal thing? Yep. Look, watch, it's on. It was off. And by the way, there are gonna be beautiful, cool lights like the Night Radian. Pretty quick, okay? Camera crew is going to, throttle cuts off.
Hold the plane.
Safe is on.
Okay.
Okay. 70% throttle, 1.5 Gs, and it's gonna do the 15-degree kick up, okay? There it is. Hand launch assist, folks. I'm doing nothing. I'm just watching it happen. Look at that, it came out of it. Beautiful, exactly as expected, out of the throttle, out of safe. We're gonna go back to AS3X Plus. Camera crew is gonna come toward me. Inside. You guys notice something? When you take off your landing gear, there is going to be a distinct shift in CG. So don't be surprised, okay? Okay, camera crew, here. I think the 4000, it doesn't seem to shift near as much, but I think that's because it's just a heavier pack. On 3200, you're gonna feel a little bit more on the tail heavier side of still center of gravity. We have a 20 millimeter range, folks. Yes, that is the tree that I deployed the wings into with a 3-meter Fox. Yes, that's right. If you were paying attention, that's what I did. And yes, this thing is glorious in the air. It feels very much like the 1.5. The only difference is much bigger and much more robust. And yet it's still amazingly fast, precise, and invigorating. Take off flaps, landing flaps. Watch this thing. Watch this envelope. Watch this flight envelope, folks. Look how much this thing slows down. Look how slow you can do that. Absolutely gorgeous. A little bit of wingtip there. And then up. Waiting for the ground traffic to clear. And then right back down. Guys, this is an all-in-one. It does the thing you wanted it to do. Whatever that thing is, it does it. And it's got presence in the air. Full speed pass, you good. Mm-hmm. And then ups. That's ups, guys. That's ups.
That is up.
Oh, let's go this way instead.
Okay.
Look at that, guys. Look how slow it is. Isn't that crazy? Upside down, slow, and not dropping a wing. Just absolutely gorgeous. And we'll come out of it this way because we can. And we'll do a nice little loop. A nice, friendly little loop. Bob Ross style, folks. Here goes. Take off flaps now. Wake up the elevator a little bit of rudder. Bring that nose right where we want it. And then stick it right in the hole of these trees right here. Here we go. Guys, Brian Phillips RC has your back. This plane is gonna win. It's gonna be a good one. Little contrary aileron. Whoa, did you see that? It was pumping the air. AS3X Plus was getting a little hot and heavy. And by the way, if you start seeing that, check this out. I made an offsetting. We'll show you how to do it in unbox build radio setup. I am now out of AS3X Plus just to show you just how stable this thing is. Watch this, there ain't gonna be no pump in the air this time. Because we don't need to worry about that at all. Because if you wanna go up in thermal, search for the thermals, you can do that too. And by the way, it's just as easy as pie. We'll show you exactly how to do it in the unbox build radio setup. And all I gotta say is this plane is glorious in so many ways. Yes, the AS3X Plus has it locked in, but since it's such a stable plane with 4S, 6S 4000.
Yes.
It is very, very well suited for this plane. And yes, there is a little bit of wind. It's deceivingly windy right now. Okay, back to AS3X. By the way, let's do a little something different here. Let's go into safe. I'm gonna go to safe. I'm in safe now. I'm gonna take off flaps and now landing flaps. Look how slow that thing is. Look at this.
Like stopped. It can't even move.
So let's just scroll over here a couple of screens. There we go. Look at that. Lots of power. Lots of power. Tons of time. Look at this, guys. Not even looking. I got something in my eyeball. Okay? I can clear my balls and then I can get right back to it. Okay, now I'm out of safe. Look at that, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. Out of the flaps. Down the damn runway. Absolutely gorgeous damn runway. If you guys are brand new to Brian Phillips RC, that's the damn runway. We're building it as soon as we get the money for it. So it might be a couple years.
Well, I mean, we already built it.
Well, I know, but we're going to put the concrete down.
Yes.
As soon as we can afford that, right after we spend lots of other money finishing up the rest of the damn gift shop.
Yes.
If you guys are brand new to Brian Phillips RC, we're building an aerodrome here in our front backside yard and all the other yards. We've got 3 of them. And we're doing that because we love this hobby. You'll see lots of people on YouTube that love things RC, but you'll just see a few of us that are insane enough to do what we're doing here. And look how fast it snaps out of it, guys. It's just absolutely gorgeous. But at the end of the day, to all their own, not everybody needs to have 3 runways in their yard. To that, I would say, pooey. I'm going to do it.
Not everybody needs a front, back, side, yard aerodrome.
They don't all, but some of us do.
You should.
Up and around, you ready? Full landing flaps on the way back down. Oh, gorgeous. You see how easy and controllable that is, folks? Lots of turbulent air there today because of the direction of the wind. But absolutely perfect performance. I just love this plane. It's really, really well done. We've flown a lot of sailplanes over the years here at Brian Phillips RC. I really enjoy sailplanes. It was one of those things when I first started flying, I didn't think I'd like them at all. And they have really come to be one of my favorite things to do RC. Which is funny because, of course, sport planes are always fun. But this plane is a hybrid between warm liner, hot liner, sailplane, all the different things. You see the rotor rolling off those trees. It's crazy. It doesn't seem like it should be because look at the sock. It's only, what, 33, 45 degrees out? I'm telling you right now, it's way more turbulent up there than it looks. Camera crew, you good? Need a little bit of throttle to get the stall turn completed, as you can see. Take off flaps, landing flaps. It's funny, it was squeaking like a bird.
Yeah.
I wonder why it was squeaking. If you guys are having trouble getting your Conscendo to land, I want to show you something. Camera crew, back to your normal spot. Landing flaps, okay? A little bit of wind we got to compete with. Take off flaps now. Don't get in a stall. A little bit of throttle. I am with the wind now, aren't I? No, I'm into the wind. So you can slow that thing down, no problemo, and get on the ground. But if you got confused winds and you're having trouble doing it, my suggestion is get yourself in a comfortable spot. Just use up the energy. This is one of the things you learn if you ever do slope soaring or if you do a lot of thermal flying, which of course is very lame to film. It might be fun to do. It's kind of lame to film. But one of my suggestions is give yourself a very wide berth, have an out. Don't do this when your battery's dead if you can avoid it. Unlike Brian Phillips RC. Use up the real estate wisely because you're going to lose your elevator as you get closer and closer. So keep your landing flaps for when you're getting close to running out of elevator, which I'm not quite there yet. Okay, now take off flaps. Be ready to kick on a little bit of throttle, a little bit of slip, 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 and then we're down out of the flaps in a beautiful way. And it really isn't that hard to get it down. Now, obviously, we're not going to throw reverse thrust on this thing because you're going to like let them break the prop. But what an amazing experience. And yeah, we still have more to give. But wow. I do want you guys to see flying on 4S. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly, I know, 4S. That's right. It is capable of flying on 4S or 5S. I don't know. A lot of people aren't flying on 5S. But camera crew has the battery here. So we do have a 4S 5000. And this is gonna be a lot less power. I'm curious how this plane is gonna do with 5S. This, by the way, is quite a bit lighter than the 4000 6S we're pulling out. And it's actually similar to the 3200 6S that we flew on our maiden flight, okay? Throttle cut is on. You notice we measured the CG, which has a 20 millimeter range. It's like huge right here. It's on the bottom. Watch the unbox build radio setup if you wanna see all that. We are gonna add the lights. We are gonna add the crow. And there's gonna be several ways to do that. By the way, when you unplug your pack and it does this obnoxious warning, there's a couple of different ways. If you cancel quick enough, it'll cancel out of it. If you wait too long, then sometimes you gotta shut off the transmitter. Okay, so undo the Velcro. You'll notice we put the shelf liner in there. Very easy to take out your battery. Did I say 4000?
You did.
Folks, I apologize. That was a 3200 50C. I apologize. I meant to say 3200. So, gosh, I feel bad because I didn't mean to mislead anybody. We also had a 4000 laid out and I just grabbed the wrong pack. Camera crew, if you don't mind.
Yep.
Okay, so this one's gonna go in here. It's gonna be almost exactly the same dead weight. And we're gonna see what we get out of this. This happened to be a Gen 1. It does have the IC5 connector. This does come equipped with an IC5. We're gonna plug this in. Make sure it's seated all the way. It kind of didn't feel like it went all the way. Throttle cut is on. We're gonna stuff this back in here. Now, if you try to do a 50C pack on a Gen 2, 5000 6S, you're not gonna fit. It's gonna be too wide. It's just not gonna do it, okay? I will tell you something. This plane could be more tail heavy and it would still be fine from the way we have it configured. Also, there's plenty of room inside of here and there's a relief cutout here so that you can get your hands at the battery. I haven't found it to be really particularly useful. And then this clip goes up here and it gets centered on a piece of plastic so it keeps it from popping off, which is really nice because back in the day, we've had a few planes that would catch on the prop itself, okay? Now, the other thing too that's kind of interesting about this model is that with the landing gear, there is a lot of drag that's introduced. By the way, you can take the pants off of the landing gear too, but I wouldn't suggest you do that either. Oh, by the way, you can see it has refilled my bar, which is really nice. So what we're gonna do now, wind is really picking up now.
Yeah, it is.
And it's going that way, which is right through this hole. I would normally launch if I had confidence in a plane, but this is my first hand launch with 4S, so I'm not gonna do that hole yet. We'll come back to that hole.
Okay.
Throttle cut is on. Remember, when you launch a plane like this, you have to be careful not to cut yourself, but you don't wanna be dumb and leave your throttle cut on, okay? So I can launch this way, and so I'm gonna launch kind of over the damn runway. I'm gonna go into safe because it's super easy, and I'm gonna give it full throttle and at least 1.5 Gs of movement, okay? Takeoff flaps, full throttle. There you go. And as you can see, it's not the powerhouse it was. Camera crew, back to your normal spot, please. So what's gonna happen is if you're out there slope soaring, that's good. 4S is gonna be plenty to get you aloft. But then you're just gonna be a little bit lighter on your feet, but not by much if you're using a 5000 4S, okay? The 3200 6S is super similar in terms of size, okay? But that's where you gotta be careful, is it feels doggy when you come out of a 6S, okay? So remember, if you're flying on 4S, it takes time. You gotta fly the plane a little bit more. And so you're gonna think this is kind of crazy. If you're not an experienced sailplane pilot, just remember, you can still do all the same stuff. You have to fly the plane. Like you have to go up and trade off airspeed for altitude, okay? So get up to altitude, wherever that altitude happens to be for you. I'm not gonna go crazy here. We can technically go way high, but I'm just gonna go up here like this high, okay? So I'm just gonna sail around for a second, get my wits about me. And then when I'm ready to engage, remember, I've got wind that's going about this way. I'm right there into the wind, okay? So I'm gonna cut into it. I'm just gonna fly the energy. And that, my friends, is what sailplanes are supposed to do. And you'll notice that a lot of times when we're flying sailplanes, I try desperately to get you guys footage of just sailing. But I gotta say, it just looks so much more exciting on a video to be flying around at what, 80, 90 miles an hour, whatever this thing will do. And since that prop disappears, it's not really a big factor. It doesn't look lame. But I will tell you something. If you're the type that just flies around in throttle all the time, and you don't really want the sailplane experience, get the Electro Streak. It's an awesome plane. Get the 1.5 meter Conscendo. If you don't quite have the budget for the 2, you will love the 1.5, okay? But I'm gonna tell you this right now. Flying the plane's energy, which I'll be honest, I'm out of practice on it, is something else. It's something that's really to behold. And you will become a lot better pilot if you can learn to fly the plane's energy and not waste it all. And I'm doing a very bad example of it right now. But just knowing that you've got that much in the tank from one pass is awesome. Now, full throttle, get into it hard on 4S, you're gonna need it. You'll notice I'm pegged on that stick there, okay? So if you plan on flying this on 4S, just remember, look how long it's taken to get that thing flying fast. I mean, I'm really loading that pack hard. So a couple things to consider. If you know you're gonna be flying it fast and you wanna fly it crazy, I'd highly recommend going with a 3200 6S or a 4000 6S or a 30C 5000 6S, but I think you're just wasting weight if you go up to 5000 because you can fly this thing for like 15, 20 minutes comfortably on a 3200 or 4000 6S. And by the way, when they're big, just remember the trees are still in the same position. But that plane looks a lot different when it's big, okay? I love seeing it. It looks the part, it does the part, it flies the part. It's so much fun. And for those of you that stuck around for the 4S flight, I just want to thank you for being part of Brian Phillips RC, the Loyal Club. By the way, speaking of loyal audience, we're gonna see some of you at Joe Knoll, I assume. Do you know when we're going yet?
We will be there Wednesday through Saturday of the second week.
Is our target.
Yeah, it's typically when we're there.
And why do we do those days?
Well, those are some of the busier days, but then we can fly out there on Tuesday. And then we can be out at Triple Tree Wednesday morning usually.
So folks, if you're brand new to Brian Phillips RC, what do we do here? We unbox them, we build them, and then we fly them. And we try to tell the full truth. Nothing but the truth, so help us God inside pass here. Mm-hmm. Why do we do that, camera crew?
Because it's not that hard to tell the truth.
But the truth can be expensive.
It can be.
Guys, here on Brian Phillips RC, we want the best for the audience. We, of course, do love when the manufacturers give us good planes, and we love when they do the things we ask them to do, but we also appreciate that the only reason they care what we think is because you guys are here, okay? Let's make no bones about it. If you didn't care, they wouldn't care. I don't think they would. They might like us still. But the truth is, I love this hobby. I'd be doing it if we weren't working with them. Probably wouldn't be doing quite as many.
Probably not.
But we really genuinely love this hobby. We're not just in it for a buck. In fact, whatever bucks have been earned are gone, long gone, reinvested, probably 10 to 12 times, 20 times over, depending on how you calculate. And we hope that you guys are here with us and you appreciate the little tiny bit of value we might be able to extract for you watching these videos. We want you to know that we care about you more than we care about one particular plane or one particular manufacturer. But at the end of the day, if there's nobody crazy enough to make this stuff, then we don't get to fly it either.
Yep.
So we know it's a balance. It's a balancing act between ripping a new one because they didn't put LEDs on a very awesome plane, and then saying, you know what, I can tolerate it because get this, guys. There's an LED kit that's gonna go on this, and it's gonna make it like the night Radian, and you'll be able to control it. And then you're gonna have Crow, and you're gonna have all sorts of amazing features. And I can't wait to share it. But the truth is, at the end of the day, we still notice those things. So we still say, hey, how come there's not LEDs on here? And they say, because they don't want people not to experience it because of a $20 price difference. And I'm like, is that really gonna stop people from buying? And the truth is, in their infinite market wisdom, they say yes. And I say, not sure I trust that, but whatever. Your guy's the one with the money on the line. Beautiful plane, absolutely gorgeous. Well done, E-flite. Well done, Horizon. I am so happy with this thing. I can't believe we haven't had this for 10 years. But I will tell you this, anytime they give us what we've been asking for a long time, I try not to complain. I try to be a happy person. Now, that being said, complaints about this plane are limited to why haven't we had it for 10 years? That's pretty much it. And why are there not standard nav lights on it? That is a genuine concern that I have. But at the end of the day, when you guys see the lights that are going on this, you're gonna get it, okay? No, I'm not gonna try to catch it, but I am gonna land it just because you guys get the point. I'm not gonna go a full 20-minute flight here probably. A little bit of pumping. We don't pump very often like that, on camera at least. Look at this, guys, look at this. Out of the flaps, just so we don't have any problems. Nice. Look how easy that was to land. And by the way, 4,000,
wow.
Or excuse me, 5,000 4S, tons of power left. You could fly this thing almost infinitely. That might be a slight exaggeration.
Maybe not quite.
But even still, the NX8 Plus has been great. If you guys have an older NX8, just upgrade the firmware. You've got an NX8 then. If you got an NX10, same thing. NX20, I think they came out after the Pluses. But either way, the point is this. We love this feature-packed, telemetry-equipped. We've got Vario. We've got all sorts of things going on. It's got all the features, 8360T. To switch on Crow, all we have to do is take out a couple of Y cables and either update the firmware on that so that it has the Spectrum transmitter file, the STF. Is that right? Did I say it right? Finally? Finally. And you can pull it straight out of there into your transmitter. You don't even have to program it, but we will show you programming it. That's just one of the ways you can do it. You can also put it into here and then you can force it in. But there's basically, you have to factory reset the program that's on the receiver either way. We'll show you how to do it when they're ready. Because we're filming this before the official release date, that means that we don't have access to it, and so we can't show it on this video. Or our original unbox build radio setup, which is standard protocol for Brian Phillips RCs to show them as stock as possible, and then kind of roll out some updates, similar to what we've done on the Carbon Cub, the Cletus version of the 1.3 meter, very popular Carbon Cub, okay? The difference is this one's gonna be easy and it's gonna work. The other big difference is this is a conventional. You could pull this receiver out of this plane, put it in any plane. It's gonna do all the things you want. It is a full-blown 8360T, not a 637TA, which omits the barometer feature, okay? So you get the full feature, the full suite on the 8 channel, which is actually 9, which is actually 20 channels, okay? 20 channels, 9 technically pluggable now. Because we're running Avian ESCs, we can adapt to all of the pluggable channels, which is really cool using a function called port mapping, which I don't believe we're gonna even have to do on this, okay? I don't think so. But just, if you didn't know, those inboard flaps go up and down, similar to the Carbon Cub 2.1, the Carbon Z Cub.
Oh, really?
Yep, they go up. So I never did that. I didn't care about the full length ailerons, but this will do full length ailerons and Crow, which is pretty cool. If you don't know what Crow is, Crow would typically be the inboard flaps go down, the outboard flaps go, ailerons go up, also known as spoilerons because they continue to act as ailerons. But then the inboard flaps would go down and you create drag like you can't create. And that will help you get this thing down in a tight hole, okay? So if you fly in tight environments, that can do it. Also, we'll show you the entire process of installing those things. It will be a separate video. If you're looking for a different plane though, if this doesn't meet your fancy, I'm gonna teach you a tool to put in your tool bag. It's called bprc.me. Go there, find the plane you wanna see, sorted by categories, and then click on watch, and it'll bring you to the YouTube playlist. You can find the original Maiden flight, you can find the unbox build radio setup, and you can find all the modifications we've done. Some videos, we might have 50 on a plane. Very unusually, but back in the day, we used to do a ton of videos. Now it might be 2 or 3, okay? But sometimes 4, sometimes 5. At the end of the day, this one's gonna have ultimately the unbox build radio setup, the Maiden flights, which you're watching now, and then there's gonna be the upgrade for Crow and or upgrade for lights. It might be the same build, I'm not sure. And then we're gonna have a flight that shows the lights, which is gonna be tough because it gets dark.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
But then we're gonna also have the Crow flight, which will be a re-Maiden. We sometimes call them second thoughts, and sometimes we call them revisits when we come back and fly them again. Or we have subscriber specials where people come out here and they fly with us on our beautiful aerodrome here, which we've done a number of times. So guys, we just love this hobby and we know you do too. And so we're gonna give you the full truth, nothing but the truth. So help us God, so you can make a good decision, what's right for you and not necessarily the marketing team, okay? Not that they've got any disdain for the hobby. They obviously love it too. In fact, everybody that we've met that works for Horizon, and we've met a lot of them, are obsessive about this hobby, even more than you.
Yes.
And I'm talking about all the people we've met. There's only one guy I know that doesn't fly planes.
Yeah.
So far that we've met.
Yep.
It's hilarious. But anyway, I'm not going to go into that. And I give him crap out every time I see him. So, and there's people that fly or drive too. So you got to remember that. So sometimes the big dog in the room gets poked a few times, but at the end of the day, they just keep doing good products. So if everybody else wants to do good products, we will sing their praises exactly the same, because no one particular company owns our opinion. But the truth is, we love that plane and we love this hobby. And this has been a great transmitter. And there are other ones that you could get, but this one works so dang good and you're gonna get a lot more help. And that's why you're at Brian Phillips RC, because you might need a little bit of help. If you're in that category of people that are coming back to the hobby, we're not gonna leave you high and dry. We're not gonna use all this technology mumbo jumbo that you have no clue what's going on without a detailed, overly lengthy explanation.
Overly lengthy?
I said, we're not going to leave them without that.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So at the end of the day, we'll help get you out of the chair and into the air. So if you like the way that plane flew and you like the way I flew it, which is, by the way, just a normal guy, then we'll help get you there. It's not as hard as you might think, and it's so much harder than you might think, because it's a lot harder than you probably imagine, and it's easier than it's ever been in the history of mankind to learn to fly those things. We'll help get you there. Hopefully we answered all your questions. If we haven't, and you want to see the 3200 6S flight in the snow or whatever it was like 7 degrees, we will either have that following or before, depending on how it went. Either way, ways to support us if you don't want to buy that thing, from the links in the video description below, which is one of the easiest ways to do it. If you're going to buy it from the links. That's how you support us financially. If you're going to buy this, buy from the links. If you're going to buy the batteries, buy from the links. That's the easiest way to support Brian Phillips RC, so we can turn around and blow it immediately. 5 years ago. Also, the other way you can support us, YouTube members. Be a member. It'd be super cool. If you don't want to be a member, you can just throw us a super thanks. Always appreciated. Or you can be a member through Patreon. And if you don't like any of that malarkey and you don't want to give them all the fees, you can do it through PayPal. Any of those things are always appreciated. But at the end of the day, we'd much rather you be spending your hard-earned money on something you love like that. But if your wife has, again, threatened to leave you over the next plane, we understand. But just remember, there's snakes in the basement, and tip the UPS guy to deliver it to the back door. Just saying. Or even the office. That's another thing you could do. Marriage tips and advice from Brian Phillips RC. Hopefully we answered all your questions. I think we probably did. We were trying to be pretty exhaustive on this one because the Conscendo is awesome. It always has been. We have done the original Conscendo. We did the Conscendo Advanced. That is a mosquito.
Oh, man.
I know. First one of the year.
Great.
We have done the Conscendo Evo, the Evolution, all of which are awesome. We've also added flaps to the original. We've added flaps to the Advanced. We've done LEDs on both. It's just like, this is like the Brian Phillips RC plane. This and airliners, okay? I love the Conscendo, and I still love the Conscendo. And if they made a 3-meter Conscendo, I would love that one too.
We did the UMX Conscendo too.
Oh, we also did the UMX Conscendo. I can't believe I forgot that. And also we've done the Evo twice. So that's like 7 Conscendos.
Plus all of Vesta.
And then we had, my friend had one too.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if you guys are looking for the place to get your truth, to figure out if you want to buy those things, you're in the right place. Brian Phillips RC. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell for notifications. Brian Phillips RC does long form content. So YouTube says, no, thank you. And they send you to all these shorts. We make shorts too, but it's just a different audience. We're not trying to just grab your attention for 30 seconds. We want to grab your attention for like 3 hours and teach you something. If you don't need that help, we appreciate you being here. We get it. So stay tuned. So much more from Brian Phillips RC. Thanks for watching. YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. All new from E-flite. The 2-meter Conscendo. And yes, you can put on optional landing gear. And just let me get this out of the way right now for those of you saying, they're very ugly. I don't think they're ugly, first of all. Second of all, you see how hard that was? Watch how hard it is to install them. Boom. And that's the way all the wings go on. So the horizontal stabilizers, there's one ball link you got to flip off of there. And otherwise, it completely comes apart. Flies on 4S or 6S. But one little caveat to that, if you got a 5050C 6S, it won't fit. You have to go to a 30C if you want it to fit. And this thing should do fine with that. Now, ours is equipped with just regular flaps. Go down low so they can see. Just flaps inboard. They're working on a Spectrum transmitter file so that you can do it with Crow. Oh, so good. 6S 3200. First time we've flown this is our maiden flight. Oh man, it looks just like I remember. Oh boy, it's so good. It feels so locked in. That was kind of squirrely sounding. So they're calling the 6S Power Unlimited Vertical. And I'm gonna go with, yeah, pretty much. This is a big plane, keep in mind. You can fly it on 4S. Now let's do landing flaps here. Got a little bit of downward cant. I'm probably gonna have to trim that. Just a little bit of trim there out of the flaps now, just in case you guys were paying attention. I'm gonna just soar around. Okay, so we got a nice flat flight envelope now. I'm gonna just tip the scales just a little bit. Little bit of roll to the right. Could be the wind pushing me. Now we're gonna get back into it. Yeah, it's got some good power. I had to give it throttle to do the stall turn because the thing just wants to go. So much fun, guys. So much fun. Reminds me exactly of flying the 2-meter Conscendo. Of course, this one, excuse me, the 1.5-meter Conscendo Evo. I had one question, and that question was, is it gonna perform the same? Not hands off, but just a tiny bit of upward pressure to get it going upside down. Oh, it's so easy. It's so easy upside down. Okay, into the throttle, see if we can flip over. Oh, we can, but it kind of forced itself into that configuration. Full disclosure, the 3200 6S is what we're flying today. And it is doing great. Trying to stay up in the light, camera crew, in case you were wondering. Got an early morning flight today and just loving it. Take off flaps now. Oh man, look at it slow down. Holy cow, now landing flaps into the throttle, relatively heavy. And look at the thing slowed down. That is incredible. Now, out of the flaps altogether, hard on the throttle. Send it to the moon, guys. Ready? Here we go. Oh yeah, it's unlimited vertical. It's just going, going, going. Remember, that's a 2-meter plane, so it's big. I wish it screamed a little bit more, but it still does a good job of getting around. It's just more a matter of efficiency is absent screaming, to be perfectly frank. Because screaming is wasted energy, in my opinion. Steps toward me, please. Love it. Very good flying plane. Very easy flight envelope to understand. Are you out of the sun?
No.
Come over half a step. Thank you. Good job, right there. Inside. Confidence and no problems, guys. This thing is a big bird and it does no problem. Let's do a landing quick because I got a 4.5 minute timer set. It's gonna be easy to land this thing. I can already tell. Why don't I land from the other side? No, okay. No, come back. I'm gonna land from the other side, I think, because then I can fly up the damn runway. No, I'll just go in a circuit. Okay, take off flaps now. It's not gonna be a hard one to land. We're just debating about, oh, by the way, safe. We have safe mode and AS3X, so I should demo that before I forget. Sometimes I forget, guys. Okay, full up elevator, full down elevator. I got about 25% throttle in there. Take off flaps also. Limited bank angle right, limited bank angle left. As you can see, it gives you a lot of flight envelope still, even in safe. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It does a good job of that. Okay, now, out of safe, I did set up an offsetting on mine. And keep in mind, we do have telemetry, so we can tell all the good things that are happening on this model. Comes equipped with a boop, 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 beep, beep, beep. Sinking. Climbing. That is so nice. By the way, what that tells you is that we're using a non-TA receiver. So this is an 8360T, not TA like we see in many bind and flies. This comes as a bind and fly or plug and fly. In our configuration, it is a true plug and fly.
Bind and fly.
Excuse me. Thank you. I didn't want to take that one because of the bouncy wounds. Oh, by the way, if I didn't mention it, there is a tail wheel. 4 steps over. Thank you. Right there. Landing flaps. We'll just bring it in really slow. Look at this, guys. Just slip it in a little bit of slip, a little bit of slip, a little bit of slip. It's deceivingly not calm this morning. Look at that thing. Absolutely gorgeous. Of course, you can put down in the grass. In fact, I wouldn't be opposed to it except we have ice from an ice storm. 3 more steps over to the right. Thank you. And so I don't want to break off the landing gear. I don't think it would, but I just don't want to find out I'm wrong. Look at this. Look how slow you can put this in right over the runway. Oh, it's so good. And look at that. Without thrust reverse, we don't even need to worry about it. And by the way, this avian receiver has different stuff in it, which we will outline in the on-box build radio setup. So there is braking immediately set up on the motor. So you don't have to set that up. And of course that's in the ESC actually. Beautiful flying plane, beautiful power. Camera crew over here, please. We're about 2 minutes and 9 past our 4.5. And we're just gonna show you where we are for battery. Holy cow, wow. We've got a lot of battery left.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, we don't normally do this to you, but it is extremely cold. It's like single digits. We're freezing. I don't know if I can do a whole lot more flying. I do feel like I could use a little bit more weight on the pack to get this thing to scream faster. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna try just a little bit. We'll do a hand launch first, okay, because we have plenty of power. This does come with hand launch assist. So if you're in safe, throttle at 70% or greater and at least 1.5 Gs, I believe is what they said. And then it will go ahead and help climb. So we're gonna try that right now. I'm just gonna show you can do it without any tools. Throttle cut is on. So, camera crew, I'm gonna press this button, then I'm gonna pull these off and I'm gonna stick them in my pocket. And when I say my pocket, I mean the camera crew's pocket.
Okay.
If the wheel pants are a little bit big. And yes, you could just fly it with one if you're a really skilled pilot, but I'm evidently not. Yeah, she's trying to put the wheel pants in now instead of the leg in. So as you can see, very clean, beautiful access on the bottom. Now there's one other feature we're not gonna review in this video. It's too bright, okay? But this thing comes with optional, it doesn't come with it, but you can purchase optional light kit that will go in this just like the Radian, the Night Radian. And that's gonna be so cool. So we actually have the kit, we're ready to install it, but we were asked to do that on a second video, maybe because of delays in shipment, or I'm not sure exactly why, but we are gonna cover that in a separate video, as well as Crow. So the Spectrum Smart file that you can pull from the receiver can be swapped out, and we'll go through the process. You can also just program it yourself if you want. So these inboard flaps go up and down. So you can do a full length aileron, or you can set up Crow, which of course would be spoilerons on the outboard portion, which are your ailerons. And then you can have these go down, that'd be Crow, or you can do a full functioning,
Full span aileron.
Thank you. Okay, full throttle, hand launch assist. There you go, guys. That's hand launch assist.
Nice.
Okay, out of hand launch assist. I am in safe just because I wanted to demo that product. But truthfully, I don't think you need it. It's not a hard plane to launch. I mean, even at crazy low temperatures. Here we go. Man, it feels clean. It feels cleaner without the gear. But you know what doesn't feel cleaner?
What?
My hands, they're freezing, they hurt.
It looks good.
It does. AS3X Plus, if I didn't mention it. I'm gonna turn that off. Okay, I'm out of stabilization altogether. Oh, it's screaming good now.
Mm-hmm.
Down there, I'm trying to get it so you guys can hear it. Sorry, I'm not trying to be weird by not talking, but truth is, this plane does a lot of the talking for itself. I'm really excited about how nicely it's doing the closer quarters flying. But I gotta say, I'm not sure what's going on with the buzz. And then also, oh, you know what it is? I changed my CG, that's why it's pulling up on me.
Oh, sure.
Yep. So I just gave a little bit of trim because I took those gear off. They are, make no mistake, in front of the center of gravity, okay? So I gotta adjust my trim quite a bit. Okay, so one suggestion, guys, I'm hands off right now. This is AS3X, excuse me, this is nothing. And look how nice it's flying. That's hands off, folks, in the wind. Okay, I'm gonna go, now AS3X Plus is locking it in, and look how nice and perfect that is, guys. That's just gliding into the wind. Hands off. Let's see hands off upside down. Yeah, it's just gonna slowly fall to the ground. Not really a big surprise. So folks, I gotta say, I love big sailplanes inside still. And that is a monster to be flying in that tight quarters. Oh man, it's so much fun, guys. And obviously we have lots of juice left. And so let's see how the flaps respond without the gear. A little bit of rotor up above those trees. We'll just flatten it out and just see how it does. Oh, goodness gracious. That is so much more floaty than I recall from the original 1.5 meter Conscendo. Now keep in mind, there was 3 Conscendos. We had the original, we had the advanced, and we had 2 evolutions. One was version 1, one was version 2. And they were both very good. But I gotta say, when we went from 2S to 3S, and then later to 4S and 3S, it was just incredible in terms of performance. But I gotta say right now, flying this thing on 6S, it feels a lot like the 4S performance level, only it's huge. Oh, it's screaming. Sorry, camera crew, about the blue skies.
Yeah.
That's totally out of throttle there. Down the runway, sorry. Man, it looks so good, guys. And you know, those maneuvers there were very tight, very close to the ground, and very much with a crosswind. I just want you to see the agility, because the agility on this plane is quite good. It is not the lightest plane we've ever flown. It is definitely very sturdy. Camera crew, over here. Thank you. Full flaps. Man, it was getting kicked there, did you see?
Yeah.
No, it's the downward elevator correction. I don't know if you guys realize this, but if you haven't watched the Unbox Build radio setup, dude, there is a lot of correction. 35 and 25 or something like that. Oh man, it's so good. Let's fly the wing. Let's like use up the energy. I'm slipping now. Man, that is so awesome. So 4.5 minutes was kind of a complete and utter joke. Like, I don't know why you would ever go 4.5 minutes on your timer. You guys are gonna notice I have not crashed in anything yet. And let's go over by the fox killing zone, which also happens to be the eagle killing zone, and just show you that I can do it without hitting it. Look at this, watch this, guys. See, I didn't hit it. Amazing, right? Mm-hmm. By the way, that was a 3-meter plane. So it reached out a little bit further than a 2-meter. And guys, one thing you probably aren't accounting for is just how big this is compared to a regular Conscendo. It is like twice as big, okay? When you go up by 0.5 meter on a size class, it is basically like double the plane. It's huge compared to the original Conscendo, okay? Now the original Conscendo, before the advanced, we had very soft, rubbery EPO foam. And now this thing is got the high density stuff like what we experienced on the Evo, not even in the advanced. The advanced, I think we might've had some level of increased density, but it wasn't anything like what we experienced when we went up to the Evo. The Evolution was like way, way more dense. Also made it a little bit worse if you missed a hand catch because the tail could break. Oh, look at that, look at the angle of attack. Just put on the landing flaps. Did you see it change? That's so dang cool. By the way, guys, there is a distinct change in performance and behavior after you throw on the landing flaps. So I'm thinking I might actually want to change the amount of elevator correction back just a wee bit. But that's because when you fly with the included landing gear, which by the way, those gear do come with the plane, it is gonna change the CG a lot, actually. So just be prepared for it and make according changes. You might almost want to save flight mode for something like that. Also, we have this thing set up with 10% expo. The thing feels awesome. I don't even know why you would switch out of it. 10% with 100% rates. 10% expo, 100% rates, sorry. Full landing flaps here. A little bit of slip, a little bit of slip, a little bit of slip. So gorgeous. Take off flaps now, a little bit of throttle. Flying the power. You don't have to be in the throttle the whole time with this plane. I will tell you the density is, it's gotta be pretty dense air because it is extremely cold this morning. And yes, we did have a blizzard yesterday. So for all intents and purposes, this plane does all the things you wanted the Conscendo to do, but it also does more sailplane things than I recall the Conscendo really doing. Because I always flew my Conscendo more like a warm liner, which would be kind of like an incredibly high performance sailplane, as opposed to more of a sailplane where you're gonna go around and just like thermal hunt or maybe slope soar, which I have slope soared the Conscendo, and I wish I had a slope from which, I need you over here, please. From which to fly. Unfortunately for us, we get those slopes on dams, and dams are controlled by the Army Corps of Engineers, and so we don't have immediate access. Okay, out of the throttle. There it is. Guys, super, super easy landing. Absolutely no effort. Takeoff flaps and then landing flaps. Draw it out, cut the throttle early. Don't get your prop hit on the ground. Boy, oh boy, this thing is glorious. It is so good. I want to keep flying, but we can't for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is, yes, this is ice, folks.
Yes.
It is extremely cold. And yes, we do have power left to spare on our 3200 6S. We were originally going to fly this on 4000 6S 50C. The 50C packs do fit. Let's show you inside. Okay, right here, lift on the back, pulls out, it's got a little clip on the front. Very easy to load these smaller packs. If you try to squeeze in a 5000, you're not gonna have anywhere to grab. But my center of gravity was measured out with a 4000, and so I think it would help a little bit to go with that 4000 just because I know I'm gonna probably pull the gear off. But full disclosure, everything about this plane does exactly what you expect. The wings come off in seconds. We've been storing it on the counter, waiting for a flying envelope, or a flying window rather. And the wings come off in like literally 20 seconds. I've had them on and off probably 5 times since we put the thing together. The build, because you're unpackaging it, takes probably a half an hour for the average Joe, but you can have it put together in minutes. And I'm not exaggerating, it is literally minutes. So amazing job. Conscendo 2 meter, all new from E-flite. Check it out today. Links in the video description below. Support Brian Phillips RC, buy them from the links. You help us so we can fund huge projects like this. As you can see, the building exists, waiting on directional boring for power, directional boring for water, and a septic system that's going on the side of that hill. All that stuff is gonna be happening hopefully in the next few weeks. And then once that's done, we can pick back up on the rest of the inside stuff. But for now, it's coming along. When all that's done, the dam runway and the apron are on the agenda, but we're talking about 14,000 square feet of concrete or more. It's probably on the more side of things because I think we're gonna need a little bit more apron on the far side for when the full scale planes are in and out. It's gonna be awesome. We can't wait to share it with you. But in the meantime, we already have awesome, and it's sitting right here in front of us. The Conscendo 2 meter is glorious, okay? It does everything you want it to do, and it does it really well. It flies flawlessly out of the box. Couple clicks of trim for us, no big deal. Trim change with the landing gear was, I don't know why it was unexpected, but it was unexpected. Of course, you're adding quite a bit of drag, and you're adding quite a bit of weight that's in front of the CG, and it's a long ways up in front of there. It reminds me of flying the Pulse 1500 with those big landing gear, look a lot like that. And my friend had a Pulse 1500 and he just destroyed the thing. It was just the most ridiculous, ludicrous looking thing by the time we were done playing with it. I mean, we had lights all over. It looked like a UFO flying through the sky. And you know what? This thing will too. And it's gonna be awesome. The only difference is this is gonna not suck. And that plane was destroyed. And I don't know if you guys ever had the Pulse 15, but the canopy had a nasty habit of popping out because the nose would flex down under high G loading and it would pop free and it would come off. So we had like rubber bands on the outside. There ain't gonna be a rubber band on this for a long time, except for maybe keeping the folding prop back when it's being stored. And would like to figure out what the buzz is. I think we probably just have a little something loose in there that's getting wiggled around. But I will tell you this, one other tip, don't fly when it's 8 or 7 or 6 degrees with a little bit of wind, because it does hurt today to fly. But even against the pain and against the odds, this E-flite is so good. And guys, I had no clue. A couple of years ago, I mentioned in a video, a 2 meter Conscendo, give it to us now, something like that, some stupid offhand comment like I make all the time. And that was, I had no clue. So this is awesome. I'm so glad. I need to make more comments like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna just tell you this, that plane is so well done. You guys will not regret it. I just wanna check one thing. Yeah, it has telemetry, it shows altitude, it shows all that stuff. I'm not gonna show you mine just because I don't wanna, you know, tempt the FAA or anything. But truth is, big plane, definitely not sub 250. Fly it in a FRIA or get yourself a remote ID. We will go through the entire process of installing the lighting. It's got what looks like a little receiver that is going to be installed inside, and then all the wires plug into it. And then you can see kind of where that plastic is. Point at it, camera crew.
Through here, this channel here.
And so just you can see, like this wing, it doesn't take hardly any effort to take off. In fact, pull the wing. Just grab it and pull a little bit. Yeah, see how easy that is? It comes off just like that. I mean, it's super easy. It's probably the easiest wing install that we've ever had. And those clips are metal, okay? Yep. They go in and out. We will show all that in exhaustive detail on our Unbox Build radio setup, as you've come to expect from Brian Phillips RC. Guys, we really appreciate you being here with us. We love the honor, and we really try to respect it, the honor of being involved with these early releases from all these different amazing manufacturers. Anybody who's crazy enough to make RC airplanes for me to fly and for us as a community to enjoy, I want to give them kudos, because there's easier ways to make a buck. And I'm gonna tell you what, I'm just glad they're doing it today, especially in this world economy. It's complicated, it's changing, ever changing. And I love aviation, I love RC, and I wanna do it. I wanna do it, okay? So let's reward the companies that give us what we want. And this is what we want right here. If you guys don't believe me, buy one and find out just how much you should believe me. This thing, oh, by the way, there is a tail wheel. I don't know if I showed you, and yes, it is steerable. So when you have the landing gear on, you can taxi around with it. I didn't even think to do that, but I probably should have. Just an amazing, amazing culmination of so many amazing options squeezed into a beautiful package that does all the things you expect. And I just love the way it looks. Guys, it is so well done. Comes out of the box, completely built. And yes, you have access to all the receiver stuff right there, which I didn't even think about that. We could have just reached under there and hit the button. We used a bind plug on this, but we could have just done that. And by the way, all these things, ball links, inside holes, not all the way, but almost all the way. And carbon fiber extensions. This thing, it's like they spared no expense on any detail on this plane, because it just does everything so good, and you're gonna love it. So definitely check out the link, order one now, don't get left out, because they're gonna sell out of this thing. I already know they will. Okay, it's not a Carbon Z, just to be clear. This is just a regular Conscendo, but I think that's what we were jokingly saying, is it needs to be a Carbon Z Conscendo, but they didn't do the Carbon Z. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know.
But man, I love this plane. It is so much fun, and you will too. Check it out, links in the video description below. Otherwise, to support us, Patreon for monthly support, YouTube members, be a monthly supporter if you want to. You can join the club here. We also have YouTube Super Thanks, and then PayPal if you don't want to give a bunch of fees to YouTube or Patreon. That's totally cool. Just remember, we're friends and family. There hasn't ever been somebody who's asked for money back when they supported us. I don't know why they would do that, but that is the friends and family. You can't ask for money back, which is fine, because you're not going to ask for it back.
We're not
anyway.
giving you.
We're not giving it back. It's spent already, guys.
Yeah.
But the Conscendo is what I think you should get instead. Don't send us money, buy the Conscendo. This thing is awesome. You will absolutely love it. It is a daydream in the air, and it is a joy to put together. So check it out, guys. Description, it's right there for you. We'll link to the batteries we used. I'm going to recommend 4,000 and 3,000, 4,000 and 3,200 6S, okay? Now, if you want to fly this on 4S, like for a slope soaring opportunity or something like that, that's fine. But just remember, you're going to want to be kind of a little bit careful about your center of gravity, because you're going to get that smaller pack. It might tend to be a little bit more tail heavy, but you might want a little bit more tail heavy if you're going around thermal hunting with this thing. It's still a pretty dense plane, in my opinion, but it's going to do the things you want to do if you want to fly it more like a sailplane and a little bit less like a warm liner. And it is still fast, but I feel like the Evo feels maybe just a touch faster. Now, if you want just insane speed, high density foam, and a really cool flight experience, but you can't quite afford this, look into the Electro Streak. That's another recent offering that's really good, that would give you a similar feel to the Conscendo. Like if you've already got the Conscendo 1.5 and you're like, I just don't know if I can fit this in my house. First of all, I'm gonna tell you this thing breaks down a lot better than the regular Conscendo. It's just super small when it's all put together. Or when it's all taken apart. I mean, the wings are still big, don't get me wrong, but you can stack it all under itself. I would probably leave my tail feathers on personally, But you can stick this in even a small car. You can put it in the chair because the way that it breaks down. So they've just answered all the concerns that you might have. And that's why I'm telling you, just get it. We don't often do that. And we don't just do it for Horizon stuff. Believe me, there's been a few planes we've said that. This plane, just get it. You'll love it. It's awesome. Okay? Take my word for it. Stay tuned. So much more from Brian Phillips RC. By the way, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. You want to be informed because we're going to have it first on Brian Phillips RC. Thanks for watching.